Hey, welcome here to Weber State University, and the national anthem just performed by Madison Rowley of Duchesne High School. My name is Brian Baldwin. Thanks for joining us for 1A semifinal action here on VTV and broadcast all around the state via KSL.com. All right, so we've got quite a game today. Parowan is the team that you're going to see in the blue, yellow helmets, the blue pants, yellow helmets, white jerseys, and Duchesne in their home jerseys that are a darker blue with some white on them. Parowan, if you look at this team, they are an amazing rushing team. Their scores in some of their games, they put up 53 points, 72 points, 48 points, 69 points, 47 points, and 41 points last week against Altamont. Duchesne, they're a team that likes to kind of methodically move down the field. Not a huge play team, but Duchesne is no stranger to games like this. But their scores do tend to stay down a little bit. So the keys to the game that have been given to us by the Parowan coach today is to win the line of scrimmage. Obviously, for a running team, a team that's only thrown 7 touchdowns as opposed to 44 running touchdowns this year, they got to win the line of scrimmage. They don't want to turn over the ball. Turnovers kill any team, but especially a running team where if a team can keep you in check even 3 or 4 yards at a time, that increases the number of plays you've got to run, and it increases the opportunity for turnovers to be made. So they've got to basically keep 2 hands on the ball and limit those turnovers. They've also got to just limit mental mistakes, make sure they're sharp on their plays, their blocking schemes, and making the right decisions when it comes to any option plays or just keeping their head on their shoulders. So no mental mistakes for Parowan. For Duchesne, Coach Cowan came up with the keys to the game for Duchesne. He says that Parowan is a running team, and we've got to make them beat us outside, not up the middle. So obviously the strength for Parowan, typically as they've watched it on film, is to just bust up that middle with the strength that they have. So Duchesne feeling like if they can get them outside, Duchesne's speed can kind of keep the big plays down. Duchesne coach Cowan also says our special teams need to outplay theirs. Duchesne has only had 1 special teams touchdown this year. Parowan has 2 or 3. And so you think about special teams, you think you've got to contain them, and then we've got to, Coach Cowan says, we, Duchesne, have got to make the plays on special teams. We've got to win special teams. And our stars must outplay their stars. You're going to hear stars today from Duchesne like Brock Ford, Skylar Ford, Weston Polson, Jarrett Spencer, the quarterback, Jaron Mortensen, a receiver on the receiving side for Duchesne. Parowan, though, it's going to be a couple Porters, Porter Wood, Porter Miller, Ethan Guyman, and you're going to hear some other names. But I'll tell you what, when I was looking up stats before this game, I'm seeing 234 yards rushing in a game with his teammates over 100 yards as well. The quarterback, typically playing quarterback is Porter Wood, but he's going to run the ball a lot. And then Porter Miller and Ethan Guyman are also going to be running the ball after getting the handoff there from Porter Wood. So what we have is we've got 2 teams that have not played each other this year in the 1A semifinals. A high-scoring Parowan team running and running. And then Duchesne, typically Duchesne has been mostly a running team, but they will throw the pass. They have 13 touchdown passes this year from Jarrett Spencer, hitting a lot of different receivers, including a lot to Jaron Mortensen. So Jarrett Spencer, a senior, he doesn't want to go out today. He wants to, follow Duchesne tradition and end up in the championship game like they do most years. Now, as far as common opponents between these 2 teams, they've both played Altamont. In fact, Parowan played Altamont a second time in the tournament, beat them 41-7. Duchesne beat Altamont 20-0 just a couple weeks before that. They've both beaten Kanab. They've both beaten Rich. But Milford was a game that Parowan lost. Now you can put an asterisk by that. It's the last game of the season. Parowan's already solidified their role in the tournament, so who knows if they kind of let the foot off the gas for that one. They did lose 54-18 to Milford, where Duchesne beat them 21-12. Now, as you can see, we do have the kickoff ready to go for you here from Stewart Stadium on the campus of Weber State. Duchesne kicking south to north. And Parowan back to receive at the 10-yard line, and it goes right through his hands at the 5, back to the 4 and the 3, and they're going to fake the reverse. Duchesne making a play right there at the 7-yard line, and that tackle was at 22 for Duchesne, making the tackle right there. Weston Polson offensive star. His name will be called offensively today, but also defensively and special teams-wise, he comes down and makes this tackle. Watch Duchesne. They keep their lanes, if you notice that, and they start to break down right here, and he takes that chance right there to try to whip the legs out from under, knowing he's got 3 or 4 other Duchesne Eagles right there to come in and make that tackle a few yards down, and that gamble pays off. So from the 7-yard line, with an I formation and another offset split back, they hand off, and only a yard right there. And that is number 42 getting that handoff, Porter Miller, one of the porters I was telling you about. So 2nd and 9 now from the 8-yard line. Duchesne's defense, obviously, one play in, controlling the line of scrimmage right there. You know, if it was 3 or 4, maybe 5 yards, they're not controlling that line of scrimmage, but a great job by the defensive line there for Duchesne. And I'll give you some of their players' names here in a moment. David Lamborn, I can see him right there at left end. Also is that big number 69, Jack Roberts, right there, defensive tackle on the left side. Another handoff to that kind of split off fullback as he goes around the edge. And Duchesne's trying to make him beat him around the edge. That time he does get quite a few yards. He's going to be short of the first down by, it looks like, just a yard, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. Duchesne said, let's make him beat us outside. You can see that the middle is covered there. Now the speed has got to come from Duchesne to make that tackle. You can see 3 Duchesne players there, one to initiate the tackle, the other one to knock him out of bounds, being Polson again. Quarterback sneak up the middle. Looks like he has the first down. 2-yard gain right there from quarterback Porter Wood, the other Porter. And it's a first down, Parowan. Still an 82-yard field for Parowan as they are just to the 18-yard line. But that big play on 2nd down definitely hurt the Duchesne Eagles there. You can see kind of a weird-looking eye. And the quarterback's going to pass. They don't throw much. He throws maybe 6 to 9 times a game, and that one's overthrown to the right side, and so incomplete, 2nd and 10. When I was looking at the passing stats for Parowan, the Rams, it was 2 for 8 or 3 for 9 or 1 for 6 passing. So they take that chance every once in a while. If you can, get the defense to zero in on the run so much, maybe you can break one of those open. They only have 7 touchdown passes as opposed to 44 runs this year. Quarterback under center, and he's pitching to the right side. A good blocking scheme there from Parowan, but it does not stop that cornerback from coming in and initiating the tackle from the outside, and a backer coming from the inside. I believe that's number 8 for Duchesne, Gavin Davis, making the play from the cornerback. It looked like if that running back could have had a little bit more speed, he could have gotten through there, but look right there, initiating contact is Gavin Davis, and also in on the tackle, big number 68, David Lamborn. All right, so 3rd and 10, incomplete pass on first and no gainer on 2nd down, and now they're going to send Polson out for blood, it looks like. So coming in for Duchesne to replace him is number 64. I don't have him on my roster, at least on one of the rosters. I'll check the other real quick. Looks like Dylan Moon was left off of the UHSAA roster. Another pitch left side this time. A little stutter step. Maybe got some of the defenders to, stop in their shoes for a second, but that's just a 7-yard gain on 3rd down. That is not enough for a first down. That's only a 6-yard gain. So to the 24-yard line, you can see this pitch is going out to Porter Miller. Porter made a little stutter step. He's a big guy. Look how big he is. And that tackle initiated again by Gavin Davis on the opposite side of the field, but Jack Roberts came in and finished the job for him. Jack Roberts is a little bit more of that fullback size. All right, a punt for Parowan on 4th and 5. And the punt is over the head of the returner, Davis. It goes down to the 34, and it's going to stop right there just inside the 34-yard line. So Duchesne takes over. Some great sponsors here on VTV. We've got some new sponsors joining us for basketball, and we're proud to announce the partnership with Ute Tribal Enterprises to help bring you Uinta Basin High School sports coverage on VTV. So the folks back home in Duchesne and Parowan can see this game via the internet and also on Strata Cable out there in the Uinta Basin. A lot of business there supporting the Duchesne Eagles and sports in the Uinta Basin. They're going to mark them at the 35. They moved it up a yard. So 1st and 10, Duchesne. And here's their typical formation, heavy on the right side as they give just to the fullback. Going outside, it's Polson. He's breaking out to the sideline. He's going to get 5 yards before being thrust out of bounds at the 40. So Polson, they're going to give him that extra yard, 6 yards at the 41. And so it's going to be a 2nd and 4. And you can see that it's just down blocking and maintaining your block, and Polson just stretching it outside is finally grabbed by the jersey by number 34 there for Parowan, Ethan Guyman. 2nd and 4, and another give to Polson, and this time he's wrapped up behind the line, losing a yard. Defensive tackle right there, 59 and 67 for Parowan, Ethan Murphy, and Dixon Jones, or is it Bryce Minear? I'm not sure. They've got 2 67s on their roster, a junior and a senior. Usually if one's a freshman, it's easier to know which one's which, but one of those guys right there. So it's a 3rd and 5 now after that yard loss. Still heavy on the right side. A split back on each side and that fullback, and they're just going to give it to the fullback. Polson again, breaking to the outside, now cutting up the middle. Looks like he's got first down yardage. They're marking him right there at the sticks before Parowan throws him back to the behind the 40, and it's going to be a 1st and 10, it looks, for Duchesne. So it almost looks pretty similar, all 3 runs right there. This time Polson cuts it outside, then changes his mind right there at that moment and gets to the line. You can see the referee's marking it before they throw him back. So a good mark from the referee there. Duchesne has the 45. They need the opposite 45 for a first. And now Roberts under center for Duchesne, or Jarrett Spencer, I'm sorry. Motion right to left, and they give to that motion man on a pitch. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, which is about all he's going to get from that right split back position. That's Jaron Mortensen. More of a pass catcher than a rusher. But from that split end, they do like to try to do a little bit of, get people going to that right, what they've done 3 times in a row, and trying to use a little bit of counter action right there. Moving the offensive lineman around a little bit. Now they're heavy on the left side. The ball's between the hashes almost evenly, so they just kind of changed formation. Now they're doing the same play, calling to the left, just a yard, though, from Polson. So we've seen that play. I don't know if there's a whole lot of differences in blocking schemes in that play 4 times now, but it's gone to the right 3 times and to the left once. So they're depending on Polson's athletic ability with some hardcore down blocking. Now they're heavy set on the right side again as the ball's on the left hash. So they've got that right side of the field. That's the wide field. Under center. And motion from the wingman, but they do give it to him on the pitch. And he's fighting for the first. He's going to get across the 50, but he's 4 yards short. Jaron Mortensen from that left wingback position. And he's got 6 yards, but it's 4th and 4. So inside Parowan territory, obviously not field goal range. You can see I thought maybe for a moment they're giving to the fullback again, and now they're going with the pitch. Nice face, or stiff arm to the face mask right there to guarantee a couple more yards. So they're heavy on the right. They're going to go for it on 4th and 4. This would give Parowan a short field. Motion left to right, and there they go. They got the defensive lineman to jump on 4th and 4. It's an automatic first down. You've got to be aware of that. Every team that runs an offense similar to Duchesne's knows on a 4th and 4 they can always get the team to jump if the cadence has been consistent up to that point. So offsides, look at that, just a quick jump from the left tackle right there. Or more so the nose guard, right tackle. And he is not happy with himself. He's probably glad that there's 2 names under his number right now. Or no, that was a different player. All right. That was 67, not 59. All right. Heavy set on the left, 1st and 10, Duchesne, and they give to the man going motion right to left, and he's going outside. He's got 1 man to beat. Oh, he gets to the edge. He gets about 7 yards before being pushed out of bounds by Parowan number 3, Derek Rowley, and that's Mortensen. Again, we've called Mortensen's name quite a few times already on those runs from that split back position. He's holding on to that ball. Remember, one of the keys to the game was no turnovers. That was more Parowan's side, but, it goes for both teams. So at the 37, 2nd and 3 for Duchesne, heavy set left side. And they give to the fullback. He's up the middle. He's going to get a yard maybe, so it's going to be a 3rd and 2. And that's Polson again. Polson being the fullback. And so 3rd and 2 at the 36 of Parowan. The Rams, high-flying, high-scoring team, and Duchesne's going to be the team that I said is just methodically moving and taking up a whole lot of clock time. That's perhaps one of the biggest reasons Duchesne scores are a little bit lower. Duchesne's overall record 9-1, Parowan 8-2. They're both winning games, just in different ways. So it's always interesting when two teams like this get matched up. Quarterback sneak up the middle. He's got it and more. He's got 3 or 4 yards, in fact, 4 up to the 32-yard line for a 1st and 10 for Duchesne. So Jarrett Spencer, quarterback sneak, and he's just, look, you can see there's space right between those 2 tackles, and those 2 guards for Duchesne just push on the inside shoulder and try to create that space, and the center just leads, and the quarterback follows. All right, heavy set on the right side. Honestly, in a defensive front like this, you could almost run that play every single time unless they did a tackle stunt. The left guard jumps right there, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, I believe, on Duchesne. A pulling guard from the left going to the right side. Yep, there he goes, a false start. He wanted to get a good start. A pulling guard will, you know, if you're timing that right, you are squeezing between the quarterback and the center right as the quarterback's getting that ball out of the way, and he was just a hair early right there. Ran into his quarterback, or it almost caused a little bit of problems, but it was a false start. So 1st and 15 at the 37 for Duchesne. 4:51, clock rolling, first quarter. Heavy set on the right side, taking their time. They've got 5 seconds on the play clock, though. No motion, gives to Polson. Polson making a cut, and he's only going to get a yard. That's it, 2nd and 14. Well, Spencer Ag is a proud sponsor of VTV's coverage of the Duchesne Eagles postseason football. Hopefully for the Duchesne Eagles, it does not end today, and they play the championship game down in southern Utah later next week. Spencer Ag, a proud sponsor of VTV's coverage. 2nd and 14. It looks like the line's evened up, so they're not heavy on one side or the other. They've evened it up a little bit. Quarterback to throw. And he's about to get hit. He's rolling in and out of that pocket. He's buying time. He's going to run it now, and he's got space. Oh, I'll tell you what, that closing speed right there from that backer. Number 44 for Parowan was incredible right there. Porter Wood, the quarterback, he is not falling for any of this. This is a long, drawn-out play. Rolls to the right, avoids it right there. The offensive lineman, okay, how can we help? How can we help? It's only a 4-man rush. Now, I thought there was a lot of space right here. He may have taken a bad – oh, it looked like he kind of stopped there for a moment. The quarterback did for Duchesne, even let go of the ball right there at the end of the play. If he would have kept going to the outside, he had a lot of space right there. So I don't know why he kind of seemed like he was stopping his momentum. Makes for a long 3rd down, 3rd and 11, just 3 yards on that gain. Motion left to right. Oh, a fumble. There's the turnovers you can't have. And if Duchesne did get this, it's a 4th and long, and they're not going to be able to kick a field goal from this point. It's 4th and 11. Lucky for them, look at that. Oh, he just one of those mishandles. I don't want to say he was pulling out too early or anything like that. Just a mishandle of the ball. It happens, but now it's 4th and 11, so Duchesne has got to do something as there's 2:40 on this first quarter clock and no score. They definitely don't want to give Parowan the ball back right now. They wanted to score, so they're going to try to convert 4th and 11. Here we go. Even line. Quarterback to throw. Both times he's thrown, the line's been even. Oh, he's got a wide open man for a 1st down and more across the 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds right there between the 10 and the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him out. Oh, maybe he stepped out at the 13. That's where they're marking him ultimately. He's almost out on his own accord rather than the tackle being made. Look at this. The quarterback just reverses out, and the defensive end is trying to contain the quarterback. He does a great job, but there's just nobody on that receiver. And he stepped out right there at the 13 before contact was made at the 8. Here's Duchesne quickly with the fullback run to the right side, and just 2 yards there at the 11-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. Now that pass caught a moment ago from Duchesne was Brock Ford. He can catch that coming out of a wingback position or tight end position. He does run the ball occasionally as well. So 2nd and 8, it seems like the rain is coming down a little bit harder right now. I know you can't tell necessarily from your vantage point there, but a lot of rain on my windshield here. Quarterback gets busted up before he can even make the handoff, and I'll tell you what, that is a defensive tackle, very angry at this point. Watch this. He just busts through. No one blocked him. I wonder if there was I mean, I don't know what the ultimate goal of that play was because it just seemed like it was a mess. So I don't know if he was supposed to go unblocked and he just busted through there quicker than they thought he was supposed to. But, yeah, he busts up that play. So now it's a 3rd and 10, a loss of 2 yards right there for Duchesne. 11 seconds on the play clock and a receiver out left, which they don't usually have. And the quarterback's in trouble, but now he's going to run. He's got a man. He completes the pass again. And near first down yardage, down to the 4. It's going to be a 4th and 1. And that was Brock Ford again on the receiving side. I like the calm, cool, just demeanor of this quarterback. Watch, I mean, he's in trouble right here as that guy comes in from the edge right there, totally misses the tackle. You aim for the inside shoulder right there, but he's got a man wide open. And he drags the defender down to the 4, inside the 4. They do mark it at the 4. So it is a yard short. I believe it still would have been just a hair short anyway. Oh, they actually placed the ball inside the 4, not like they typically do on the outside of it. So a good spot from the referees, 4th and 1. And now a timeout is called by Duchesne as Coach Cowan does not see something out there that makes any sense to him. So with just 37 seconds left in this first quarter, we'll keep it here. And we'll mention some of our sponsors like Castle Country RV, locations in Helper and Logan with friendly service and the best prices. Castle Country RV has served the Uinta Basin since 2012, and you can call them anytime, 435-472-2100, or look them up on the web at castlecountry.rv.com, and they say, go Eagles. And right now, Liz Ivy offers foot zone therapy, which is much like reflexology, but during a foot zone session, she uses pressure, manipulation, and massage on every nerve ending in your foot to help bring your body into a state of homeostasis, functioning the way it should be. It is a 60-minute foot massage that is good for you, your body, and that's a bonus, right? If it's good for you and your body. Nourish, Liz Ivy, great sponsor of Duchesne football here on VTV. Thanks for joining us. We're nearing the end of the first quarter, no score, and Duchesne on a 4th and 1 from the 4-yard line. So this is, I mean, you can walk away with 3 points probably. This is not much further than an extra point, but they're going to go for it. They want 6, possibly 7 or 8 here. The pitch to Paulson. He's got to get to the outside. He does. He's going to get more. Touchdown, Paulson and Duchesne Eagles. And for a moment, it looked like he was going a little too much east right there instead of north. But he saw the field a lot better than I could from his position. Look at the quarterback, waits just the right amount of time. He gets smashed after pitching it. And that's where I thought maybe they might make the tackle. No, Weston gets further outside and gets the touchdown for Duchesne. So extra point attempt for Duchesne, and kicking it. Is that 68? I can't tell. It is up, and it is no good. So 6-0 Duchesne. And let's take a quick break. We've got a kickoff coming at you in just a moment. This is VTV's coverage of semifinal 1A action.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and the places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
Welcome back to Stewart Stadium. Duchesne to kick off, and David Lamborn, the kicker, just missing the extra point. 6-0 Duchesne after scoring on a 4-yard touchdown on 4th and 1, Weston Polson. And that was a 65-yard drive or so for Duchesne. Took a whole lot of plays, though. I mean, that took a whole lot of time off the clock, a whole lot of plays after Parowan was unable to do much on their first drive, and this is going through the end zone. Touchback with just 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Parowan has to kind of lick their wounds and try to answer. I mean, this is a high-scoring, fast-moving team, and Duchesne was able to stop them the first time down, make them punt, and Duchesne capitalized while using almost an entire quarter to do so. So Parowan comes out with a receiver left and 3 in the backfield. It's always kind of an I formation with the fullback directly behind the quarterback. Quarterback keeps it this time behind that split end blocker, and he gets 2 yards, and that'll probably be the end of the first quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 8 around the edge. A keeper by Porter Wood. As you can see, there's just 14 seconds left. Parowan's just getting the play, and I don't know if they'll be able to get one off. They're hustling the line. 5, 4, 3. They're not in a hurry. And that is the quarter. End of 1. Duchesne 6, Parowan 0. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this on VTV.
That's the end of the first period after 1.
Some of the most important diagnostic tools in medicine today are in the radiology department. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, there are many modalities to choose from: CAT scans, nuclear medicine, MRI, 4D ultrasound, digital mammography, bone density scanning, and a totally digital format. The technicians at Ashley Regional are highly trained and are well known for their great customer service skills. If you need an x-ray of any kind, ask your physician to send you to Ashley Regional Medical Center for quality results.
In our small community, something big is happening. Strata's fiber network is connecting thousands of locations in the basin, bringing internet speeds now as fast as 1 gig. Delivered across the fastest technology available, Gig Internet has the speed and power equal to 1,000 megabits per second. For more streaming, more sharing, more connected devices, and more possibilities. It's internet fast enough for your life. Get your gig today from Strata Networks. We connect lives.
Back here at Stewart Stadium, start of the second quarter, Duchesne with a 6-0 lead over Parowan, and Parowan's got a 2nd and 8 from the 22. And here's a give to the fullback, and he's got maybe 2 or 3 yards up the middle. They're going to give him the full 3 up to the 25. One thing we did not see that first quarter, no penalties on either team. We saw 2 pass completions by Duchesne, but other than that, both teams are running or throwing incompletions. Just 3 pass attempts in the entire quarter combined. But Duchesne went 65 yards. Parowan had to punt on their first drive. Here's their second drive. A quick throw. It's a screen. It's kind of like it's a big play for Parowan as well. Getting out to the 44 to the 44-yard line is where they're marking that. That's a big play for 19 yards for a team that doesn't get a whole lot of pass completions. I said maybe 2 or 3 a game. He just steps, and this is a beautiful pass to a swing route. I call it kind of a screen, but it's not. It's a swing route, and it kind of caught Duchesne flat-footed. You can see it took a while for that tackle to be made by Grayson Robb down the field. And there's only one other Duchesne player, I think, if Robb misses that tackle, who could have made it. So at the 44-yard line, here's Parowan after a 19-yard gain. 1st and 10, and a give to the split end fullback that came from the left side. He's a big guy out of the 50. That's a 6-yard run. And I believe that's the other Porter to Porter, and that's Porter Miller. Wow, he's a big guy. I mean, they just say 6'2", but if I had to add to that, I mean, they don't have a weight for him. Duchesne doesn't even have height, but Parowan at least gives you the height. He's 6'2", and he looks not just tall, but wide. So you can imagine he's probably running about 230. Oh, and the hard count. They say, gotcha. Remember, it's that exact spot. Okay, I lied when I said there were no penalties in the first half, because there were 2 penalties now that I think about it. Just one was big on the Parowan defense, and now Parowan's done it back to Duchesne. So that brings back the memories of the penalties. When I said there wasn't any penalties before, it just, to me, it wasn't like any of those big ones like holding or pass interference or anything. But, boy, I'll tell you what, Parowan's saying, got you back right there. It's a 1st and 10 at Duchesne's 45, and Parowan gives to the tailback, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. They don't even let them complete the tackle. They say it's down right there. So it's going to be a 2nd and 10.
Ball carrier is number 34, Ethan Guyman. Brought down by number 9.
And that was, I don't know why those 2 penalties slipped my mind earlier, but it's amazing how quickly it comes right back to the mind when Parowan just got you right there. All right, under center in a hurry, 2nd and 10. They don't waste time. Quarterback to throw. He's got a man wide open at the 38. Oh, dropped. And I'll tell you what, that's not a comfortable place to be with. And it looks like the Duchesne coach was yelling at that player, but he's not. And they just threw a flag at the Duchesne coach. From a perspective, it looked like the coach may have been yelling at this player on the ground, but he wasn't. He's talking to the referee, and the referee throws a flag on him anyway. Let's see what they call it. So it was 2nd and 10. It'd be 3rd and 10 with that incomplete pass. That's not comfortable to drop that pass, but he was kind of awkward. Okay, sideline warning is all they're calling right there. It's not any kind of unsportsmanlike. But the Duchesne coaches, from point A to the referee is yelling at point B. That player's laying on the ground right in front of him, and it's just one of those. You could take a picture of it and totally sell that the wrong way, like that coach is yelling at that opposing player. 3rd and 10 for Parowan. And another throw. They don't throw much. This is big. And he looks like he caught it. 1st down, 13-yard gain right there. A nice throw from Porter to Porter. There you go, from Porter Wood to Porter Miller. Wow, they don't throw much, but they've already got a few completions. And every throw is coming off of Duchesne overplaying the run right now. So maybe Duchesne's got to sit back and play a little bit more true defense. And that's what Parowan's saying. If you're going to play this defense that's going to bring your 8 to the box, we're going to throw around you. 1st and 10 for Parowan. The Rams back to throw again. There's a slant pattern and dropped again. Boy, a cut. That was a 1st down right there, and one man to beat for a touchdown. Maybe a safety comes over and helps out a little bit, but this guy's wide open right there, and he drops it. And that was a 1st down. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 32. You can see it was dropped at the 21. So a good pass. Both times they've been dropped now by the Parowan receivers. Under center, Porter. He hands off, to the fullback. He's got some room to run. And you can see the speed of this Parowan offense as they get 8 yards very, very quickly. It's a 3rd and 2. And the yards per carry for Parowan's a lot more than Duchesne. And so Parowan's fighting back right now. And that's a great run by 21, Cody Hansen for the Rams. 5'10" running back there. Oh, they got some big boys in that backfield. And I'm not talking about Hansen necessarily. Just looking out there right now as the quarterback takes himself for a 1st down on 3rd. He gets 3 yards to the 21. He only needed 2. So 1st down, Parowan. The Eagles may have to take a break here in a second and see if they can try to stuff this offense of Parowan. Right now it's a chess match. What are they going to do? Are they going to run? Are they going to do some play action again? Are they going to try to get these big plays? Back to throw again. Here's a quick slant. Now this time it's a bad throw. No receiver dropped this time. The receiver cut in, and it almost looked like the throw was intending the receiver to keep going upfield. And that's Trevor Bassett, the intended receiver right there. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Rams of Parowan. Parowan taking a long time to get this play off. And the quarterback going to throw. He's rolling right now. He's in trouble. He gets hit, and he throws it in no man's land. He does have a receiver further down at the 2-yard line, but the ball lands at the 11 as he gets smoked by a defender from Duchesne. Oh, he gets inside that offensive tackle. That tackle's supposed to keep that defensive end out. And see, that lands about the 11 or 10, and he had a receiver down at the 2, so he had no hope of having the arm strength at that angle right there to get that ball down there to him. So good rush on the outside by David Lamborn right there. Quarterback again back to throw. He's got some pressure, and he's taken down at the 28, and that's a mixture of a few people. 69-55 for Duchesne. That's Sergio Anaya and Jack Roberts.
Number 68,
Cade Lamborn also in on that action.
Sergio Anaya for the Eagles.
You can see there's more. I mean, you can keep labeling Braylon Thompson. And also was that Gavin Davison on that one. So 4 Duchesne Eagles rushing right there, right to the quarterback. It's a long 4th down. It's 4th and 17. They need the 11. They're at the 28, but this is outside of field goal range. No point in punting. Quarterback to throw. He rolls out. He has some room to run, but he's going to throw. He's got a man. It is intercepted by Duchesne. And let's hope he at least gets back to the line of scrimmage, or the interception's not worth it. You could have just dropped that and gotten 2 more yards, but you know what? Interception is always better. You can see the yard marker right there, the 4. He's about 2 yards short of where they would have the ball. But, this kind of interception return is never bad. Quarterback's going to roll out and about the 33-yard line, throw it, intercepted at the 5 off the deflection, returns it out to the 20, the 25, and the 26. Would have had the 28 either way. It doesn't matter. That's your interception in the semifinal football game. And that was Jarrett Spencer, the quarterback, intercepting that ball. So 1st and 10, Duchesne with a 6-0 lead. They stopped Parowan the second time. 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Give to the fullback, up the middle, 5+ yards, almost a first down yardage on first down, and that's going to be a 2nd and 1. With that change in possession just now, let's talk about Hometown Abundance, owned by Rick and Elise Coyle. They are proud of the Duchesne Eagles and all they have accomplished this year, and of course wishing them luck not only today, but hoping there's more football than just today. So Hometown Abundance, another sponsor here on VTV. 2nd and 1 for Duchesne. And a give to the fullback. He's up. He's got the first down, and he's got about 4 yards right there. So the 1 yard for the first down and 3 yards more down to the 39-yard line. 6-0 Duchesne, and the clock is just going to keep rolling. Of course, it stopped just for the first down, but it's just going to keep rolling just like Duchesne likes to do. Parowan, I can't believe how many times they threw that ball on that drive. Considering they're a running team, a big play running team, they had to throw. And so that shows you what Duchesne's defense is trying to do. All right, 1st and 10, Duchesne, 39-yard line. Motion left to right, quarterback goes with the motion. No room to pitch there, as one of the Parowan defenders was right in that way, so he keeps it himself around the edge for about 4.5 yards.
Quarterback keeper, number 15.
So Jarrett Spencer with that keeper. You can see there's a defender right in the way of that pitching lane, but that allows the quarterback also to move right up the middle. So it's going to be 2nd and 6 for Duchesne. Clock continues to roll under 6.5. One receiver out and tight end on the left, but they're going to give to the fullback. And he gets a good 4 yards right off that initial just thrust through the middle, 4 yards, and they take him down pretty quick. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Once again for the Eagles. Brought down by number 44.
Every time they give it to that fullback, that's Weston Polson in the backfield.
Is to the 47-yard line.
So approaching midfield, 3rd and 2. This is 4-down territory, no doubt, for Duchesne. We've already seen that today. Receiver off to the right. Motion left to right. And quarterback keep. Again, they're shutting down that pitching lane. And the quarterback this time, they're going to call the ball down before the fumble. The quarterback this time only getting a yard. And you can see what that defensive end, number 4, is doing for Parowan, Trey Jency. He's right there in the pitching lane. So he's saying, you're going to have to keep it, quarterback. And he even – that's a reviewable play in any other league. But 4th and 1.
In their own territory at the 47-yard line.
They're saying 4th and 2. So it's 4th and 1.5 for Duchesne as the ball is between the 47 and 48. And they need the 49 for a first down. Boy, that was a near fumble for Duchesne. They're very fortunate there. That could have been reviewed in any other league above high school. Especially with the great shot we got there from our cameraman down there. All right, receiver left, ball's on the right hash. So they've got, and there's going to be a timeout actually taken by Duchesne before they do anything. 4th and 1. This is a big play because you do not, with 5 minutes left, want to give Parowan the ball too quickly. Let's take a quick 1-minute break. We'll be right back and see what Duchesne does after this timeout. All right, back here at Stewart Stadium, 4th and 1. Duchesne's got a choice to make. It looks like they're gonna send out the offense again. I said this is 4-down territory. I think anything maybe further down than the 40-yard line is where Duchesne would punt. But they know they can make this yard. I mean, it's 1 yard. If it was 4th and 5 at this point, okay, maybe punt. Motion left to right. And they're going to run that same play. This time, nobody's there to stop that pitching lane, and they get the first down relatively easily, even though they only got about 3 yards. That was an easy first down. You wonder what Parowan's defensive call was right there. Like if they were thinking something's going up the middle. Where's number 4? Number 4 was not even in the picture. And so he's not in that pitching lane. Parowan definitely thought Duchesne would not run that play again. And Duchesne did. And that's why they've got a 1st and 10 at the 50. I mean, we've seen the same 3 plays in the last 4. And Parowan stopped it pretty well 2 of those 3 times. Here's a counter action from that right split back. And, oh, he's open. He's got 1 man to beat, and he scores a touchdown. Oh, he stumbles. And I don't want to say his own guy tripped him up, but he couldn't decide which side to go on, taking that block. He just could not decide, where am I taking this block? You can see Jaron Mortensen goes right to left through the middle and then back to the right, and he's only got 1 blocker, and he's like, do I go to your left? Do I go to your right? I don't know what to do. If he chooses a side, he gets 10 more yards either way. So it definitely was not his blocker's fault right there. But it is a first down after a 21-yard gain for Duchesne. It's a 1st and 10 at the 29. A give to Polson, not Polson, but the fullback who's in there for Polson, Skylar Ford, number 24, and he gets just a couple yards, so it's going to be a 2nd and 8. Skylar Ford, you can see number 24 right there. Polson's getting a break as he's out there as well, actually, as he does play both offense and defense. So Duchesne with a 2nd and 8. They need the 19 for a first. They're at the 27. 1 receiver alone to the left, just inside that left hash mark, but they give to Polson this time, the fullback. Oh, someone trying to take him down by the neck, and they don't. They miss. He just slips his helmet out, and he may have a first down. No, he's a yard short. He's a yard short of that first down. Now they're marking him at the 21, which is 2 yards short, so it's going to be a 3rd and 2. I thought he was down to the 20 easily. You can see that he was down to the 20. That's an awful ball placement right there. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. Duchesne's not worried. They've still got 2 plays to get a first. 6-0 they do lead, and we're approaching the 3-minute mark. Second quarter, as Duchesne has basically done the same thing both quarters, as quarterback takes it right up the middle, Jarrett Spencer, and he gets the first. It almost looked like it was just a no-call count, where a silent count is what they call it. And once they know the ball is snapped, the offensive line gets the push. Defensive line didn't hear anything, and they get caught by surprise. So first down at the 17. It looks like there's a timeout called by Parowan as the Duchesne Eagles are now in the red zone. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back and see what happens after this timeout.
Founded in 1946 by the Savage family with a single truck, today, Savage is the leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of our customers across a variety of industries. We are a proud sponsor of high school sports coverage and the community here in the Uinta Basin.
Back here at Stewart Stadium as the Duchesne Eagles break their huddle with a 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. This game brought to you by Stickman. You'll see their name on jerseys and scoreboards all around the basin. Proud to sponsor VTV's live coverage of Uinta Basin High School football here in the 1A semifinals. Here's a give to the left wing back as he comes across. He's to the 15, he's to the 10, and that's about all he's going to get is the 10-yard line, but that's 7 yards. They're going to mark him back at the 11 now. That's 7 yards. It's going to be a 2nd and 6 now, actually 6 yards. 2nd and 4, 6 yards is what he got. Too many numbers coming out of my mouth at once. So at the 11-yard line, 2nd and 4. 2.5 minutes, and Parowan is not going to get a chance to respond, and Duchesne gets the second half kickoff. Weston Polson, unless Duchesne scores quickly. He does have a first down to the 5-yard line, and that stops the clock momentarily, but once it starts, Duchesne's going to scroll 20 seconds off of that clock before they run the next play. First and goal from the 5. L&L Motor is the #1 rated new car dealer in the Basin, and they've been sponsoring high school sports on VTV as long as I can remember. Thank you, L&L Motor. Okay, under 2 minutes. 5 seconds on the play clock. A give to Polson. He's going to go for the end zone, and he's going to be short, but the clock's rolling. It's going to be a 2nd and goal from about the 1.
Ball carrier is number 22, Weston Polson. He's brought down by number 67.
So Weston got the 4-yard run earlier on 4th down in the first quarter to score a touchdown. And he gets darn near close to the goal line right there, just inside the 1. Duchesne up 6-0. And Spencer under the quarterback, 1:25, still 13 seconds on the play clock. So they're going to take off as much time as they can. You can see he's lingering. Now 5 seconds. A give to Polson. Polson busts in there, touchdown, Polson. Duchesne up 12-0. Extra point pending with 1:14 on the clock. So Weston 2 touchdowns, 1 yard and 4 yard today. One was on 2nd down, one on 4th down. You can see it's just muscle right there. And it's hard to stop when you've got an experienced Duchesne line who can get you that push. And you really, when Duchesne presents so many options every single play, it's hard to really zero in on one part of that line at the 1-yard line. And so Duchesne just going to the well that has given them water so far today. Speaking of water, I think the rain has kind of let up a little bit. My windshield has cleared off a little bit. So with 1:14, this is an untimed down, extra point. They're going to go for 2 to make it a football score, 14-0. Motion left to right, and the motion man is the pitch man. Here you go. He's going to bust in there for 2. 14-0, Jaron Mortensen in there for Duchesne. And we've got a kickoff coming at you in 1 minute. Let's take a quick break. VTV.
Takes the score to Duchesne 14, Parowan 0. 1:14 remaining in the first half.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and the places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
1:14 remaining on the clock. Duchesne has now given themselves a 2-touchdown lead over the Parowan Rams. The Eagles doing it the same story both quarters, stopping Parowan and taking almost the rest of the clock each quarter. And now Parowan only has just over a minute. The kickoff's going to get down to the 2 and bounce through the end zone for a touchback. No time off the clock right there. So Parowan, I believe they've got 2 timeouts left. And they've got to score. And we know they're capable of big plays, both running and passing, even though they choose to do most of it on the ground against maybe perhaps lesser teams. But they never played Duchesne this year, and they're seeing that it is difficult against Duchesne to do both. plus a couple drop passes for Parowan so far today. So 1st and 10 from their own 20. Their same formation, 1 receiver out and 3 in the backfield and a tight end out there to block. Quarterback, last second handoff, and is that ball on the ground? It is. Duchesne just recovered it. I was going to say that was a late handoff to a fullback who was already engaged with a lineman. Look at that right there. Quarterback's got to know to keep that. And now Duchesne has 1:10 to add to the score with the second half kickoff coming their way. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that was a play just kind of like supposed to be some sort of draw play, get the line coming in, but there were 2 members of that defensive line who went straight for that fullback, not going after the quarterback at all. Very disciplined defense. Motion left to right, and they're going to throw. Spencer to the end zone, wide open man. Jaron Scott, touchdown. Jaron Mortensen. Just like that, 20-0 Duchesne on 1st down after a turnover. That was a beautiful 20-yard pass, if not 19. I can't remember where the actual spot was, but that was a beautiful 20-yard pass. TD, Jaron Mortensen. The Eagles have scored twice in the last 10 seconds off the clock. Wow. Now going for a singular extra point. Hold is down, kick is up. It's beautiful, and it's good. Wow. Just like that, wow. We've got a kickoff coming in 1 minute. Let's keep it here, though, because halftime is just around the corner and some great sponsors to talk about, and just amazed at that play call. That was a perfect play call for that situation because that quarterback reverses out and has that guy in pitch relationship, and then that Jaron just slips through the defense on a corner route. Just beautiful. Look at that. Just beautiful. All right, Strata Networks. The whole reason we're here is because of Strata Networks. They're proud to help bring you live coverage of local sports. You can enjoy reliable coverage throughout the basin, unbeatable speeds from the company that brings you more local cell sites than any other carrier, nationwide 4G LTE coverage, and the latest devices from your favorite brands. Strata Networks and Ashley Regional Medical Center. Staple there in Vernal, award-winning hospital. Ashley Regional, the only Joint Commission accredited hospital in the basin. Duchesne to kick off. 1:05 on the clock. Parowan, they just got a kick to the gut. And let's see how they respond. The kickoff's high, and they're wanting him to return it. This time he does catch it, but he goes in the end zone. They're going to let him because his feet caught the ball at the 1, and his momentum took him in. He should have just let that ball go again because he's back at the 14 and 1st and 10, and that just took off about 13 seconds off the clock. Or 8 seconds off the clock for that play. So the time before, I thought he could have returned it. That time I was hoping he didn't. But he did catch that ball at the 1 and decide that he wanted to try to bring that out. But this part of the game, you also need a big play. And if you can get a big play off a kick return and it takes 20 seconds off the clock and you've got 20 yards to go, that's great. Or if you get a touchdown, that's great. So I understand why he did it. Receiver is far out left side. There's 3 in the backfield, tight end to the left. Quarterback under center, and he's going to give to that fullback, the big bruiser, and he's going to go about 3 yards. It's going to be seconded 6.5 or so.
Hand off to number 42, Porter Miller. 4 yards.
So Porter, the quarterback, to Porter Miller. Porter Wood to Porter Miller.
And number 24, Skyler.
40 seconds, clock's rolling. I think Parowan's going to go in the locker room and talk about this. They're not in too big of a hurry to strike right here. Especially what just happened with their first down play after the Duchesne went up 14-0. Now it's 21. A give to that fullback, right side, and he's got 1.5 yards, 2 yards. It's going to be a 3rd and 4. 15 seconds. That's the last play of the half, folks. At the 20-yard line, they're going to mark them for 3rd and 4, and there's only 7 seconds left.
He's brought down by number 12, Brock.
Duchesne and Parowan headed to the locker room. Duchesne with a 21-0 lead over a team that has put up 72, 48, 26, 69, 47, 50, or 41, 53 all season long. But they go in with a goose egg into the locker room against Duchesne. Duchesne, has hardly scored 21 as a final score in more than half of their games, and they've already got that at the half. So 21-0 Duchesne. We're going to take a look at some highlights here from the first half. And some of the big plays include, some big throwing plays from Parowan. But first, let's go with this 4th and 1 touchdown from Weston Polson right there. It could have been the end of the drive. He sheds the tackler and goes into the end zone. Parowan with a score 6-0. They're on a swing route. They're getting some big plays, and they're able to get 19 yards right here. They're not normally a big passing team. They're mostly rushing. And then here's a sack that ended that drive for Parowan. It did look promising as they got down to the Duchesne red zone about. And here is a interception that really sealed that drive's end by quarterback Jared Spencer, acting as safety right there. He returns it out to near the original line of scrimmage. The goal line TD from Polson right here. No one's going to deny him. And then the touchdown that came the next play after the fumble. Jaron Mortensen, that was a great view of that ball. He just kind of he squared up to that ball. He was wide open. A good pass there from Jared Spencer. So some good some good first half highlights there for Duchesne and a couple promising looks from Parowan, but they find themselves down 21-0. Now we do have some halftime entertainment for you as I'll take a break. We'll be back with the second half in just a little bit on VTV.
And Andy Townsend. Today they will be performing their hip-hop routine. Ladies and gentlemen, the Parowan High Ramettes. The Parowan Ramettes.
Hey, welcome back here to Stewart Stadium with just another minute until the second half kickoff, which Duchesne will receive. Duchesne has a 21-0 lead. How it happened. Parowan on their first drive was only able to make it a few yards. Duchesne got them to punt. Duchesne on that drive took most of the rest of the first quarter to go all the way down the field on a 4th and 1. Weston Polson, a 4-yard touchdown run. In the second quarter, much the same story as Parowan used the rest of the first quarter time and much of the second quarter time, at least up to about 7-8 minutes left, driving down the field until an interception was thrown and returned out to about the 23-yard line. Duchesne proceeded to again take that drive down the field using much of the second quarter to finish with Weston Polson on another touchdown run from 1 yard out that time. On the very next play after the kickoff from the 20, Parowan and the Rams fumbled, and Duchesne on the very next play after that were able to score on a 20-yard touchdown pass to Jaron Mortensen. That's how the scoring happened. It was 0-0 and 6-0 much of the way in the first half until that last minute and 15 seconds when Duchesne scored a touchdown, got the 2-point conversion, and then another touchdown with an extra point. 15 points in about 10 seconds time made this look like a blowout. Now Parowan's got to have to kick off. Duchesne with rushes from Jaron Mortensen. He's leading the way with 39 yards on 5 carries. Weston Polson 37 yards on 14 carries, but he's got the 2 touchdowns on the ground. Skylar Ford 4 attempts for 19 yards, and Jarrett Spencer 6 attempts, 15 yards. On the other side, Porter Miller, which I've seen him get over 200 yards a game in some games, just 25 yards on 5 carries, and Cody Hansen 13 yards on 3 carries. There's been a lot of carries from quarterback Porter Wood. He netted 0 yards on 5 carries, and then Ethan Guyman 2 carries, 0-yard net. Now Porter Wood did have a few passes dropped, but he did complete a couple for 32 yards out of 8 attempts, the long being 19 yards. Jarrett Spencer on the other side, though, just 3 pass attempts, 3 completions, 49 yards, with that long being 20 yards for the touchdown to Jaron Mortensen. So Jaron Mortensen only one pass caught for that touchdown. Brock Ford has been the intended receiver the other 2 times. Both big plays for the Duchesne Eagles. 2 catches for 29 yards with a long of 20 on that side as well. So Parowan don't put it past them to try an onside kick here. But again, if Duchesne gets it, you can imagine a lot of the quarter is going to be gone before Duchesne does anything like score a touchdown or even get stopped on a 4th down the field. They're very good at taking a lot of time off the clock. So here we are, second half action with Parowan kicking south to north, and Duchesne ready to receive. Third quarter action here on VTV. Great sponsor, Moon Lake Electric has been sponsoring VTV coverage for a long time. They've been in operation since 1938 themselves, Moon Lake Electric. Here's the onside kick attempt. It's just one of those pooch kicks over the front line, but it is caught, and basically hitting the ground with that is number 7, Carlos Lopez. And so Duchesne with a 1st and 10 from the 38. On those kicks, you can still fair catch them. He didn't do that, though. He caught and hit the ground.
Eagles have possession, 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
All right, so Duchesne, 1st and 10 from that left hash. The beginning of the game, they used a really overloaded line to one side or the other. Since the middle of the first quarter, they've gone away from that. As motion does go right to left, they're going to throw on 1st down. It's a screen pass, and the screen is stopped by Parowan. The catch is made 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but going nowhere is number 2 for Duchesne, Jaron Mortensen. That was a very well snuffed out play by a linebacker, I'm assuming, because all the linemen are right there after the quarterback. Yeah, the safety slash middle backer comes up 34, and he makes that play. Ethan Guyman, a defensive back, came up 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage to make that play. So it's 2nd and long for Duchesne. They lost 5 on that one. 2nd and 15. Here's motion or give to from the split back left to right. He gets about 7 or 8 yards to the 41-yard line. And from here, it is going to be a 3rd and 7.
For the Eagles.
He's got a whole lot of room to run, but a good stop made again by Guyman right there. Guyman playing all the defense for Parowan so far this quarter. He makes a stop there. 3rd and 7.
For the Eagles.
But here's the thing, Duchesne's already rolled off over a minute off the clock just with 2 plays. Same play, left to right from the 45, and it looks like near 1st down yardage. It may be a 4th and a foot. Looks like where the referee's marking it is just a hair short of the first down. And sometimes these high school refs will bump it up to the nearest yard marker, but they know better than to do that on 4th down. So they're going to say 4th and 2 feet.
4th and 1 at the
So
47.
just outside the 47, but the first down is the 48. So Duchesne hurries up. 4th down. And a quarterback keep. His push ahead has already gotten him the first down. Jared Spencer all the way up to the 40. Is it the 49 they're going to mark him at? Or the 48? Yeah, he got an extra yard at the 49. So you can see all he's doing is just following his center block. Now, Parowan was not surprised by this, but that Duchesne line just overpowers that Rams defensive front. You can see they got pushed back 2 yards, and that allowed the quarterback to go up 2 yards. So 10:24, clock rolling now that the ball's set. 1st and 10, Duchesne from the 49. And they're giving to the right split back. He's going to the left, and he gets nothing. In fact, he loses 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 12. So they're not going for that opposite wingback, split back, getting that ball and going around behind the line of scrimmage. They've stopped that twice so far in this half. The Rams have. Jared Mortensen, the runner on that one. So now 2 minutes gone this 3rd quarter, and every second that takes away, Parowan just knows their chances are going away. Spencer under center. And he's going to throw this time as he fakes that same play that just ran. He's got no one. There looks like there may be a holding penalty as well as he loses 3 yards. The flag is all the way back at the 39-yard line. And that's going to be bad if that's a spot foul. Let's see if we can see a holding penalty. Oh yeah, there's a hold right there. That's a great call. It's on number 69, Jack Roberts. He gets a good chunk of that jersey, but they're going to decline the penalty because it'd be a replay of 2nd down, even though it'd be 2nd and forever. But they'd rather have 3rd and almost forever. So 3rd and 16 after the loss on that sack. So the holding penalty is declined, and 3rd and 16. They need the opposite 41. The Duchesne Eagles are at the 43. 9:25, clock rolling, 3rd quarter. Spencer under center. And they're going to run a similar play. He rolls out after faking. He throws it. He's hit as he throws, so the ball is going nowhere. I did not see an intended receiver anywhere near where he was looking either. So it's going to be 4th down, and Duchesne is forced to punt, and that's something that has not happened in this game so far. So Parowan feeling very good about themselves, stopping Duchesne after only 1 first down, and even then, it was just a yard and passed on a 4th and 1. So after 7 plays, Duchesne punting. And rugby style, is he going to keep it? Nope, he's finally going to punt it. And it's down to the 22, inside the 20, down to the 16, 15, and 14. 13 is where they're going to finally down it for Duchesne, and Parowan takes over from there. So 1st and 10, Parowan with 9:02 on the 3rd quarter clock. This game brought to you by the U-Tribal Enterprises. Proud to announce the partnership with U-Tribal Enterprises to help you bring Uinta Basin high school sports coverage to VTV. All right, what has Parowan done in this 2nd half to change their game plan? The formation's the same. Let's see what they do. Porter under center. Porter. Oh, he runs it. He runs into his fullback, and this is the part of the field they fumbled on that first play after the 2nd Duchesne touchdown. This time it looks like they at least hang on to the ball. Quarterback and fullback bumping into each other, just full on. The ball does hit the turf, and it looks like Porter is able to jump on it. Porter Miller this time, Porter Wood being the quarterback. So 8:40, 3rd quarter running, and Parowan not looking good for their first offensive play in the 2nd half. They're down 21 points. So 2nd and 12. And a give to Porter. From Porter, he's up to the 15. He's rumbling. He's a big guy. He's up to the 19 is where they're going to finally mark him, even though the pile gets pushed back toward the 15. So it's going to be a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4 for Parowan, as he does gain quite a few yards right there. And just straight ahead, that center does pull around the guard, and he gets a block, and that allows Porter to get some yards. You can see he's just dragging the Duchesne Eagles for a little bit until they gang up 3 or 4 on him. They still never took him down. So 3rd and 4 from the 20. 7:50, keep an eye on that clock, 3rd quarter. It's rolling. And to give to Porter again, might as well use your strength. Oh, he just knocked someone down backwards, but unfortunately, he does not have the momentum to get the first down, and this is a dangerous fourth down to even contemplate getting.
Once again for Parowan.
And Porter Miller, he just lays the wood right here. It's just the down blocking, and he knocks that outside linebacker down and takes the defensive end with him. And he's just a yard and a half short of that first down. So on fourth down, I mean, you got to go for this because 7 minutes is the average Duchesne drive. You can't give Duchesne the ball. 7 minutes, 10 seconds, third quarter. Quarterback keep. Is he going to get it? His push says yes. So on 4th and 1, he gets about 3 yards, and they're down to the 25. So 1st and 10 for Parowan.
Quarterback keeper.
So Porter Wood keeping it, and he gets a push from behind from all his players and his offensive line, and the momentum just keeps going forward. So good play call, under 7 minutes, third quarter. Same formation, 1st and 10. And it looks like they lost the ball, or was that just a quick handoff to the fullback? It's a quick handoff to the fullback trying to catch Duchesne by surprise, and it goes nowhere. I want to see a replay of this because this was a very quick little handoff. The way some people reacted, I thought it was a fumble. Yeah, see the quick handoff right here? And nothing there. As it seems like 2 offensive linemen were kind of getting each other's way right there on the block. They must have been stepping different directions. 6:15, 2nd and 10. And a give to the tailback. This time he's going to bust it outside. That's what Duchesne wanted, but it looks like there's going to be a holding penalty as the gain is only about 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6 or 2nd and 20.
34. He's a guy. Forced out of bounds by number 2, Jaron Mortensen.
So let's see what the call is on this. It is a holding on the Rams. From the spot. Okay, so that's going to be a 2nd and 19, as they said the hold happened a yard downfield. So they need the 35, Parowan does, and they're at the 16-yard line. So it's going to be a 2nd and 19. .607 clock stops for the penalty. Hard count. And, they're doing some, this works. They did some counter action with the receiver, and he just got about 25 yards downfield, coming from left to right. The entire offensive line, the defense came with it, the offensive players in the backfield, they're all moving left, except for one blocker to lead, and they just pitch out to that receiver, and he goes out. Trevor Bassett is his name. He's down to the 45, so they not only got the 19, they got 10 yards more. That's a 29-yard run. 1st and 10, Parowan from their own 45. They need the Duchesne 45 for a first. 5:44 clock rolling, third quarter. And quarterback to throw. He's got it in the air, it's up, and the catch is made at the 35. He breaks the tackle inside the 30 down to the 27. First down, Parowan. That is a 28-yard gain right there, maybe 29, depending where they mark it. And so Parowan with 2 big 29-yard plays back to back. Watch this quarterback just fake it to that fullback. And he throws it up in the air, and it's up for grabs. But if you have a bigger receiver than the defensive back, which is the case right there, he goes up and gets it. The tackle finally made by Mortensen for Duchesne, but the catch made by Jacob Matheson, 6'2". Told you they got some big boys. Here's a give to the fullback, the offset fullback. He's down to the 20 with a 6-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 4 for Parowan. And that's Miller. That's Porter Miller, the big guy. He's the offset fullback. What they do is they do the eye with a fullback right behind the quarterback. They've got a tailback 6 yards back, and then they've got an offset fullback. Not quite far enough over to be a wingback or a split back, but I just call him offset fullback. He's having to come out of the game, too, for a reason. I don't know what's going on, if it's blood. All right, so 2nd and 4 from the 20 of Duchesne. So Parowan inside, or knocking on the door, so to speak, of the red zone. And a give to the tailback. Oh, he's got first down and more. Maybe just to the 15, though. So it's going to be 1st and 10 inside Duchesne red zone from the 15.
He has a first down at the 15-yard line.
Just watch this push. The right guard kind of almost treats it like a draw. Like he stands up, he lets the rest of his offensive line push, and then right as he knows that running back's coming, then he begins his block, just seeing if he can clear that one a little bit more. So a quick run up the middle for 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 8 now for Parowan.
Braylon Thompson for the Eagles. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line.
We're at the 13 of Duchesne, 2nd and 8. 4 minutes, 15 seconds, third quarter. Quarterback to throw, he's rolling out, he's in trouble, but he escapes. He's got a man in the end zone, it's nearly picked off. Just because he has a man there doesn't mean he's not covered. Nearly picked off by Gavin Davis. He threw that right between 2 Duchesne defenders who had the inside position from the quarterback's throw. Throws it from the 22, watch how they kind of Duchesne defenders clamp together to prevent that ball from sliding through. And now it's 3rd down and 8 from the 13. Here's a pitch. Big Miller. Oh, he's going to rumble. He's got room. I don't think they're going to stop him. Touchdown, Parowan. Told you he's a big boy, 6'2", and probably, in my estimation, 230, 240, and he can run. He sheds a tackle about the 10-yard line and runs it in, about the 7-yard line, actually. But we saw a whole lot of green, and he's got a good block. You can see block coming from the outside to the inside, and from the offensive lineman out to the corner. And the tackle, the only good chance at the tackle was missed at the 3-yard line. So good blocking scheme. It's 21-6 for Parowan. An extra point attempt. 4:01, third quarter. Snap is up. Hold is down, and the kick is good. So it's 21-7. We've got a kickoff coming your way. Duchesne's shutout is over, and now they got to think about what they got to do to keep a drive going longer than 7 plays. We'll be right back with kickoff in 1 minute.
Duchesne 21, Parowan 7. Wilson is the official ball of the Utah High School Activities Association Championship. Stats and standings are available at maxpreps.com, the official stats partner of UHSAA. Kicking off, number 74, Daniel Horton.
Kickoff picked off at 21, picked up at the 21, and trying to front west instead of south. Might get 2 yards on the kick return, but there was a big 30-yard run between that going east to west. There is a flag out on the field, so we'll see what this is. It's there at the 20-yard line, the near 20.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Up, inadvertent flag. So at the 24, it looks like they're going to mark it. 23-yard. Now they're putting it down. All right, so at the 23, Duchesne begins their drive, 1st and 10.
The return is to the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Duchesne.
All right, under center, Spencer. And he gives to his fullback. Not Polson, but it is Skylar Ford, and he gets almost nowhere, just a yard right there. So Parowan coming out with a little bit of enthusiasm. They're going to mark him down. Okay, the referee keeps moving the football. I was going to say I only thought it was 1 yard. So a 2nd and short 9. And a give to the left split back, who's going back to the right, and Parowan knocks him out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd and 9. Good discipline by this defense. Duchesne's trying to go, and they're trying to use their misdirection a little bit. That one wasn't much of a, was a fake you out as much as let's have a few people move left and then come back right. But Parowan's not buying it. Parowan's not biting on this. So under 3 minutes now, third quarter. This is a make or break play for Duchesne right now. They don't get more than 7 yards right here. They're going to have to punt. And to give to the fullback. This time it's Polson. He gets a yard, and that's it. It's 4th and 8. Duchesne's going to have to punt for the second time this quarter after not punting the entire first half. This is not the territory to go for it on 4th and 8. So from the 25, Duchesne punting again. Now Parowan used about 4 to 5 minutes off the clock is all. And so another 4 to 5 minutes, this is a 7-point game if they duplicate their drive. They're not going to run. Oh, just waiting a moment to punt it, and that punt goes way out of bounds. They're going to get Parowan the ball about the 40. Let's see where they actually mark it. At the 41-yard line. Boy, the ball bounced out of bounds about the opposite 45, but it was so far out of bounds. The angle went out of bounds at 41. Wow. So at 2:12, Parowan's got a 41-yard field ahead of him after making Duchesne punt on 3 and out. Last drive, at least Duchesne got 7 plays. This time, just 3. This game has changed. You know who's got the momentum now. Heavy line to the left. And they're going to fake going to the left. Now they're going to throw. They've got a man open on a swing route. He catches at the 23, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Parowan. And this is just a replay of that second half right before halftime when Duchesne scored on back-to-back plays. And so Duchesne is not able to take even a full minute off the clock, or a full 2 minutes off the clock. They hand the ball back over to Parowan, and a swing route goes for a touchdown. And that is Big Heart. Ethan Guyman, number 34, making that catch. He's made a lot of defensive plays today, but that's the first time we've really called him on offense. Wow. I told you, they have the momentum. This game has changed. It's 21-13, possibly 21-14 here in a second. And the kick is up. It's high. Not very far, but extra points aren't very far, so it's good. 21-14 is the score. Duchesne's got to regroup just as quickly as they scored 14 in the first half. Parowan's done it in the second half in this third quarter. Let's keep it here as we await kickoff. Mentioned Savage Services. The Savage family founded the company in 1946 with a single truck hauling coal and timber in Utah. Today, they are a leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of our customers across a variety of industries, including electric power generation, coal production, oil refining, railroad, chemical, oil field, downhole services, and other industries. Savage Services is a sponsor of sports here on BTV. Also, Spencer Ag is a proud sponsor of BTV's coverage of the Duchesne Eagles postseason football. They, as well as many of us, do not want Duchesne to lose this one. They want to play next week again in Southern Utah. All right, Parowan's got momentum. They're a fast-scoring, high-scoring team, and they proved it here in the second half, and there is now 14 minutes left in this game, a lot for just being down 7. They do another kick over the front line, and the tackle is made immediately at the 34-yard line. They'll probably give them the 35, maybe the 34, but it's going to be 1st and 10 Duchesne. As they're trying to kick to people they probably feel like could make some mistakes there on kick return.
Number 4, Trey Jans with the stop for the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 35.
All right, 1st and 10 Duchesne. Ball in that left hash. And they've got the overloaded line to the right that we saw in the first quarter. Motion left to right, and they give to the motion man. He's going to try to cut it up, and he's going nowhere. In fact, he may have lost a yard. They're not going to mark it, though. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Number 2, Jaron Mortensen.
He had, you know, some may say, hey, beat him to the outside. Parowan had a backer, a defensive end, basically deep in the backfield on the edge to try to push him up the middle. Duchesne's got to try to go to the outside. So here's that overloaded line to the right again. Motion left to right. They're going to do that again, but this time it looks like he's going to throw. And he does, but it's a bad throw. Oh, nearly caught. Boy, that if the defensive back was aware of that ball coming, he could have made a play. The only one really aware that ball was coming was Brock Ford, who nearly made the catch. He's hit as he throws. Jared Mortensen is just over one defender and barely hits the ground right in front of Brock Ford. Now we do have an injury on the field, and it looks like it is Mortensen who may have just thrown that pass. I can't see the number right now, but while he's down, let's take a minute break.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and the places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. Eleanor, people you know, people who care.
All right, Duchesne back on the field with a 3rd and 10 now after that incomplete pass. Mortensen is off the field for a moment. He walked off, didn't look like he was hobbling much. He just took a big hit on that throw. All right, overloaded line to the right. Motion left to right. They're gonna fake, give him to that guy. He's in trouble. Screen pass to the left, and the pass is a forward pass, so it's incomplete. As another quarterback hits the ground after delivering that ball. Mortensen a play ago, this time Spencer gets drilled right as he lets go. Parowan was not having that screen pass. Usually quarterback needs another moment to set that up. We've seen Duchesne complete that screen pass earlier in the game. They didn't get huge yards back then, but maybe 10 yards would have been good, or 8 to go for it on 4th, but now Duchesne is punting for the 3rd time this quarter. 1:17, and just a straightforward punt, end over end. Caught at the 27. Going to the left, he's got some green if he can outrun him. To the 35 and dragged out of bounds at the 35. So Parowan with a 65-yard field in 13 minutes. Duchesne again fails to keep the ball for a full minute. They got the ball back with just over 2 minutes left, and now it's 1:06. So Duchesne, the previous drive, had the ball about 1:40. This time, 56 seconds. Unable to do anything with it. 2 straight 3-and-outs for Duchesne. They've punted 3 times this quarter after not punting the entire first half. They've had more drives. Well, they've tied as many, like the number of drives they've had in this quarter as they did the first half. As the quarterback keeps and gets just 3 yards ahead, that's Porter Wood.
Porter Wood keeps on the quarterback option.
So 21-14 and maybe 2 more plays this quarter. And we'll switch sides and see what happens. This is an intense 4th quarter coming up. Ball on the right hash, 38-yard line. They need the 45. 7 yards to go, 2nd and 7. Quarterback keeping himself. He's got some green. He makes the choice to go up the middle. A lot of space. He's going to be a yard short. On 3rd down, it's going to be 3rd and 1, and this may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. There's only 20 seconds left, and the play clock hasn't even started. So with 15 seconds, play clock starts, and usually Parowan's getting the snap off with about 10 seconds left on the play clock. So I don't think they're going to do it. 6, 5, yeah, they know the quarter's over. That's the end of 3. So Parowan comes back triumphantly with 14 in the 3rd quarter to match Duchesne's 2nd, and they find themselves just down by 7. We've got an interesting, crazy, intense 4th quarter coming up in just a moment. We'll be right back here on BTV.
Founded in 1946 by the Savage family with a single truck, today Savage is the leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of our customers across a variety of industries. We are a proud sponsor of high school sports coverage and the community here in the Uinta Basin.
Some of the most important diagnostic tools in medicine today are in the radiology department. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, there are many modalities to choose from: CAT scans, nuclear medicine, MRI, 4D ultrasound, digital mammography, bone density scanning, and a totally digital format. The technicians at Ashley Regional are highly trained and are well known for their great customer service skills. If you need an x-ray of any kind, ask your physician to send you to Ashley Regional Medical Center for quality results.
Third and 1 and a quick pitch out to the big boy, Porter Miller. Looks like there's a holding penalty or some sort of penalty. 3 flags are down there. He got about 20 yards, but it's all coming back. There's 3 flags right there at the line of scrimmage. So let's see. I don't know if it's just going to be a simple hold or maybe a chop block or something. But there are 3 different flags, so all making sure they're on the same page. Holding, just a simple hold. Boy, that's not a good penalty on 3rd and 1, because now it's all of a sudden a 3rd and 11, or maybe even 12 if it's a spot foul. They're marking it off as it's going to be 3rd and 12. 68, oh yeah, look, he tugs that jersey down, and then 74 finishes the job, but 68 did have that jersey. And whenever you can see the jersey pull away from the body, it's a hold. A lot of players are really good. They just hold that jersey right up there with their shoulder pads, and that's where it's usually legal. 3rd and 12. Back to throw. A quick stop route, and dropped again. Boy, that's the 3rd drop pass, and this one is absolutely crucial. Because one thing I was going to say as we came out of break between quarters was that this drive will make or break the game for Parowan, because what Duchesne can do now is if they get this punt in good field position, Duchesne can try to just get 3 yards a pop. And if they can just do that, I know it's been difficult so far this quarter, but if they can do that, they're going to run a whole lot of time off this clock. And then if they end up putting points on the board, you're down 2 scores if you're Parowan. So this drive, that 3rd down and 1 play just broke the Parowan chances, at least for right now. It's up to Parowan's defense now. Back to punt, quick punt, and it's going to bounce at the 42, and it's a good bounce. And this is not good field position. This is standard field position at the 21-yard line. That's where they're going to down it, maybe even almost the 20. The referee's at the 20, even though it didn't quite roll that far. So an 80-yard field for Duchesne, but that also could mean a lot of time for them too if they can get their offense rolling. So with 11:30 on the clock, 4th quarter, Duchesne up 7. This is the drive that will make or break the game for them. I was going to say Parowan has everything in their control, even though they're just down 7. Here, Duchesne has everything within their control to win this game and go to the state championship game next week. You can see Polson switching spots from the wingback now as fullback, and that's because they're going to give it to him. He gets that 5 yards, 7 yards is what he got, 6 or 7. Let that clock roll, and no hurry on getting this 1st down. Just move forward, not backward. You can see just the kick out block from the center there as Polson gets a good drive from his entire offensive line. That is a good push from the entire offensive line.
2nd and 3 at the 27.
Again, the fullback, Polson, up 1st down and more across the 30, he's to the 35. So 1st and 10 Duchesne, this is where they're making it. Clock stops at 10:51 just until they set the chains. It's the exact same play again. You can see number 69 pulling out and kicking out just like he did. The only thing you're doing is reacting to what Parowan does. Parowan's either going to try to clog the A gap, the 1 gap, or farther out wide, which on the right side would be the 2 gap or the 6 gap. So it just depends on what that defense is giving you. Under center again. They're going to the well. They're going to the left side this time. And up to the 40, 5-yard gain on 1st down. This time it's not Polson, it's 4. But they will swap out spots there at the fullback position. You can see Polson just getting a break at the wingback. 2nd and 5 now, 2:13 clock rolling 4th quarter. And same thing. With without that center kicking out, they're giving it right back. 6 yards, first down to Duchesne. Once again, Ford on that one.
Skyler Ford with a first down for the Eagles.
You can see that's more straightforward
Down by
blocking
number 29,
rather than a
Rice,
kick-out block.
and 42, Corbin Miller.
But still, 6 yards is great.
The game is to the
So at the 46, they
yard
need the opposite 44 for a first. And the fullback gets it. Looks like it's Ford again. Just a yard or two is all. All I look for is whether it's a 2 or a 4. It's 4, so that's Skyler Ford. That's going to be a second
He's brought down by
and 8.
number 2, Grayson Ryan. And
So they need at least 3 or 4 yards a pop. But if they only get 3 here, it's going to be a long 3rd and 5. Second and 8. Motion right to left, and they give to that motion man. He's going to try to get to the outside. He's got a blocker, but Parowan plays it very well. Missed tackle there, but barely back to the line of scrimmage is all they get. Is that Mortensen? Mortensen, the runner on that one.
Jared Mortensen.
So now it's a longer third down than just the 5 I was mentioning earlier. It looks like they gave him a foot on that play. I saw the yard marker move from the 48 to between the 48 and 49.
On their own 48-yard line.
So they gave him the length of a football on that play. Duchesne with a very important third down with 8:30 left and rolling. And they give to Skyler. Skyler, 4th down, and he's short 2 yards. Skyler Ford, number 24, the fullback that
Inside
time.
handoff to number 24, Skyler Ford.
You can see just straightforward blocking. They leave number 4 alone. He doesn't make the play. That means if they don't kick out number 4, they're trying to run it more up the middle than the outside, like a 2 rather than a 4 gap. So the 2 different blocking schemes. One's to try to bust a little bit further outside. Perhaps, and there's a neutral zone infraction on 4th down, and they do it again. Virtually the exact same part of the field that happened in the first quarter, the exact same result, the exact same motion even. The last time they got this, they motioned directly across, and I believe it's even the same guy who jumped. That was, oh my goodness, that is heartbreaker for Parowan. Wow, you got to know that's coming. I said this in the first quarter, Duchesne, if you're running an offense like theirs with multiple options, one of those options is a hard count. And that gets you 5 yards, 41-yard line, 1st and 10. And the quarterback has to go around. That's that same defender who just jumped, I believe, or at least his replacement. Number 74, big defensive lineman, Daniel Horton, 5'11", but he's big. And he busts through there, not even, boy, that fullback could have made more of a block there too. That's a loss of 5 yards right there on what should have been an option play. Quarterback to that wingback that was rolling with him. Boy, what a great defensive play right there, and he's off the field, 74 is. A give to the fullback, and he goes wider, which gets him about 8 yards right there. It's going to be a 3rd and looks like a 3rd and 7.
Ball carrier is number 24.
If you look at this, 69 rolls out. He kicks out number 4, so that means they're trying to go a little bit wider outside the 4-6 gap.
Number 34,
and gets him some good yards right there.
7 at the 38 for the
Typically, the 2 gap can be between guard and center. Some teams it's guard and tackle, but the 6 or 8 gap would be further outside the tackle or tight end. So that's the difference when I say 2 or 6 gap. One's more straightforward, one's more outside. Motion, and they're going to throw. His man was covered initially. Now he's thrown into difficult times, and it's a good defensive play. Both sides are probably saying there was contact, but that Parowan defender had great position, and that was an ill-advised throw from the quarterback on 3rd down. He rolls out, Spencer does. He's got plenty of time. He's able to plant his feet, but he is going opposite arm. He throws it 35 yards downfield, and Parowan, the defender's in the way. A little bit of contact, but both sides could argue the contact. The thing that kept the flag in the holster there for the referee is that it hit the defensive player about the time most of that contact happened. So a crucial 4th down for Duchesne, 4th and 7. Motion left to right. To throw again is Spencer. He's got a man down, wide open. Mortensen catches 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jaron Mortensen on 4th down. That's a 38-yard pass. Duchesne has a 2-touchdown lead again. This is beautiful. You see that Parowan's covering most of the receivers, but I just saw, before the cameras could, I saw number 2 just slip through there, and I knew he was going that way. Wide open. Now the ball hangs up there. That's the only reason Parowan made it look close right there at the 3-yard line. But I'll tell you what, you don't get any more open than that. We saw that exact same play on the touchdown in the second quarter, just going the other direction. So Jaron Mortensen with another touchdown catch for Duchesne, and the extra point is up, and it looks good, maybe a little wide. It did go wide left, so it looked good distance-wise is what I meant. I should clarify that. It was wide left though, so 27-14, Duchesne's got the lead in the 4th quarter, and we're halfway through the 4th, and Parowan just once again took another kick to the gut. This game is brought to you by L&L Motor, the #1 rated new car dealer in the Basin, a longtime sponsor of sports on BTV, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Strata. Strata Networks is proud to be your local wireless provider. Right now, get a 4G smartphone for $0 down and upgrade in as early as a year with Strata Plus. Learn more at stratanetworks.com. Ashley Regional Medical Center. They're looking forward to the completion of their new Women's Center in 2018. If you wondered what the construction there is in Vernal at about 2nd North, 1st North, and 2nd West-ish, that's the Women's Center.
For the Rams, number 12.
All right, some great sponsors sponsoring sports here on BTV. Wow, what a big momentum shift after Parowan scores 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. That was a big 4th down play, and if you're keeping stats at home, Duchesne has scored on 2 4th downs today, and that is the difference in this game. All right, to kick off. Kick it from the south to the north. And the kick is going to land at the 5 and barely go into the end zone for a touchback.
Kick is into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10.
So Parowan, how do you answer with just 6 minutes left? Well, you gotta start pulling out the guns. You know, I mean, they're going to give it to Porter Miller, the big guy. He can run for 8, 10, 15 yards, but it also takes a lot of time off the clock. And that clock's rolling after each play. If you're passing and you're passing along the sidelines or getting big gains, you can stop that clock on 1st downs and whatnot. So if you're Parowan's coach, I don't envy this position. It's a long field. It's 80 yards right now for Parowan. Under center, 1st and 10. There's a timeout called by Duchesne. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back right after this, see what Parowan does with their 6 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to draw your attention to a significant event. You don't often get to say the name of the offensive lineman. We would like to mention them today for both teams. The offensive line blocking for the Eagles today consists of Sergio Maya, Brandon Thompson, Dave Langmore, Adrian Creel. Blocking for the Rams, Dave Howard, Ethan Murphy, Jason Jones, Taylor Howard, and Daniel Horton. How about a big round of applause for both offensive lines today?
Parowan on their first play from scrimmage, 1st and 10. They're going deep, and that ball is way overthrown. And there's a flag where the quarterback let it go. So that was not a good play for either team, I don't believe. If that's a hold or if it's a late hit on the quarterback, that throw, when he let that go, I could tell you, I wasn't seeing anybody in the area. And it is a hold. Oh my goodness, not a good play for Parowan. They didn't have a chance to complete that pass. He throws this pass so hard that there is, watch, he's throwing it to a guy coming out of the backfield. And he threw it way past him. Wow, and the holding penalty. It's a 1st and forever for Parowan. That just took about 7 seconds off the clock. Now Parowan with a 1st and forever. And they're going to try a reverse, and Duchesne just makes, oh, and that's a forward pass. If that guy's legal, then that's okay. If he's not, then guess what? That should be a safety. If that guy is legal, who caught that? 64, 68? I couldn't tell. Now, that is a forward pass. But I do not believe that an offensive lineman can touch that in any case on a forward pass, not even a screen pass. That's behind the line of scrimmage, so this should be a safety for Duchesne because he did that as his entire body was in the end zone. Okay. Okay, so it's a loss of down, and it's half the distance from where the guy touched it. So the guy throwing it from the end zone is not the illegal part of this play. The illegal part is where the guy touched it at the 1. So it should actually be between the 1 and the goal line where he touched it. So they say he touched it at the 4, which was not the right call. See, because they marked it halfway to the 2. He actually caught it at the 1. Now the referees don't have what I have in this replay. But if a holding penalty is committed in the end zone, if a penalty from that guy, like if it was a double forward pass, then it would have been something that happened in the end zone. It would have been a safety. They do get a few yards here on second and even further than forever. They're out to the 8-yard line or 9-yard line, it looks like. So a good 7-yard gain right there, but it is now 3rd and 21.
Tackled by number 22, Weston Polson.
Wow. Now, say that was a second forward pass for some reason. It would have been a safety, but the guy throwing the pass was not illegal. Even if the offensive lineman dropped it, it still would have been an illegal touch. So the offensive lineman did right by catching and just taking his chance. 3rd and 21, and a fake pitch. Quarterback throws deep. He's got intercepted. He just got intercepted. I said there's a man there, but he underthrew him. And the catch made by Jaron Mortensen, and now Duchesne has just got to take away the remaining time in this game. I mean, if he throws this a little bit further, he's got a man. See how his man has to come back for it. That's where that was intercepted. Besides the fact that it's 3-on-2 in favor of Duchesne right there. So Duchesne intercepts. They've got a 13-point lead, and it is 1st and 10 for Duchesne. So on 3rd and 22, you got to throw that. I mean, you got to throw it. It still wouldn't have given him first down, though, even if he caught it. Would have been 2 yards short. A give, fullback, Skyler. And he's got 4 yards. So 2nd and 6, clock rolls, 5:25.
And off to number 24, Skyler Ford.
Skyler Ford with that run. I remember Skyler, it's hard to remember Ford for some reason.
68, Taylor Howard.
So if I say Skyler, that's right. Second and 6 at the 33. They need the 27 for a first down. The game coming immediately after us, it's Kanab. I'm not sure who the other opponent is, but the winner of that will play the winner of this game next week at Cedar City. A give to Skyler, again, Skyler Ford, and he's got first down yardage. So the clock stops at 4:45 at the 22-yard line, or 27-yard line. Duchesne will have a 1st and 10. So Milford is the team that comes in to play Kanab. Now Milford did beat this Parowan team 54-18 just 2 weeks ago. And Duchesne beat Milford 21-12. Now Kanab held Duchesne scoreless for the first 3 quarters, and Duchesne scored a lone touchdown in the 4th quarter to beat Kanab earlier in the season. And this Parowan team beat Kanab the week before they beat Milford. They beat Kanab 12-10. So both these teams against Kanab were just squeakers. Here's a give to Skyler Ford again. First down yardage is going to be about 4 yards, so it's going to be a 2nd and 6.
Once again.
But if Milford, if Milford came out and dropped 54 on Parowan, and if Parowan was playing their full game, that's a Milford team that's got to be feared. But if it's my guess that maybe that was, the last game of the season for Parowan, and they'd already secured their playoff spot, then they didn't want to show Milford everything, assuming maybe they'd run into Milford in the playoffs. That makes sense on the 54-18 score, because that score does not match anything else that Parowan did all year. A fumble from Duchesne, that could have been. That could have been bad, but it looks like Duchesne has it for no gainer, no loss, maybe a half-a-yard loss. So it's going to be third. Just another, that's the second time there's a fumble on a mishandle. Looked like he either the center didn't get the ball all the way back to him or he pulled his hands before the center got there with the ball. Either way, Duchesne lucks out with recovering that fumble. I believe that's twice they've recovered their fumble and saved themselves. But that makes for a 3rd and 6 with 3:15-14. Clock's rolling. And a give, this time Polson. Polson's being dragged down. He's going to be short, which means Duchesne's going to go for it on 4th and 3. Gets to the 20-yard line. The first down is the 17. And with still 3 timeouts left, I've been surprised that Parowan has not called a timeout until now. So 27-14, Parowan calls the timeout to stop the clock. So we'll keep it here. Moon Lake Electric, in operation since 1938, a sponsor of Uinta Basin Sports for as long as I can remember. Find them and like them on Facebook, and they'll keep you up to date on what's going on with their towers and their service. Moon Lake Electric. Stick Band, proud sponsor of VTV's live coverage of Uinta Basin High School football, and basketball is just right around the corner, a month down the road. And Stick Band, you see their names on jerseys and scoreboards everywhere. Yep, they sponsor everything from Little League softball to high school football here in the Basin. Also, Castle Country RV. Locations in Helper, down south, Logan up north, with friendly service and the best prices. Castle Country RV has served the Uinta Basin since 2012. You can give them a call today, 435-472-2100. Ask them what their stock is, or just look them up on the web at castlecountryRV.com. All right, 4th down and 7. Duchesne. 4th down and 3, I'm sorry, at the 20. Duchesne, that thrust forward, but a fumble at the end of the play. Looks like it may have given Parowan the ball. So the thrust forward was because they didn't have enough yardage to get the ball across the first down, and then that fumble happened. You can see they need the 17. Watch where he reaches out to get this ball out. He's stopped at the 20, 19. Oh, it's hit out from behind and then goes across. So he would have been short anyway. Parowan recovers a yard further back than where they would have lost it on the 4th down. So Parowan with the 1st and 10 and a little bit of life with just less than 3 minutes left from the 16-yard line. And a pitch to the right, big. Porter, Miller, stops, goes back toward the middle, drags a few Duchesne players with him and gets about 7 yards, it looks like, to the 23. And it's going to be 2nd and 3.
Number 42, Porter Miller with the carry for the Rams.
Porter Miller, 6'2", huge bowling ball.
55, Sergio Anaya.
At times able to knock the pins down on the opposite side. 11-pin bowling for him. 2nd and 3. And quarterback keeps to throw. He's rolling left. He's got nobody, so he's going to run. Get out of bounds, buddy. Get out of bounds. He's out of bounds about the 38. That stops. They're going to mark him at the 37. That stops the clock. So a pretty good gain of 14 yards on a quarterback keep right there. Watch, he just fakes to the tailback there. The fullback stays inside. Nobody goes outside. It's almost like a keeper. And they're just sitting there watching as the quarterback goes, and his coaches are saying get out of bounds. 1st and 10, Parowan. And it looks like a timeout called by Duchesne. So with 2:11 left, let's take what may be our last final break of the game. We'll be back in 1 minute and see what happens in the rest of the 4th quarter.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
Founded in 1946 by the Savage family with a single truck, today Savage is the leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of our customers across a variety of industries. We are a proud sponsor of high school sports coverage and the community here in the Uinta Basin.
All right, a 1st and 10 for Parowan after the Duchesne timeout. 27-14, Duchesne has the lead, so Parowan's got to do something the next minute, get an onside kick, and that's their only hope. A receiver each side wide with the tight end out there. And, nice pass for a post pattern over 15 yards past the 45, and that's a good gain inside of Duchesne territory. Boy, the quarterback gave a nice little pump fake, and the Duchesne defensive backs are back quite a bit. He cuts in on that post after just going up 5 or 7 yards, and that opened up that passing lane, and now they've got to keep the clock stopped at 2:05 because the chains are tangled, as you can see at the top of the screen right there. But Parowan's ready to go. The clock did stop momentarily for the first down, and now they are starting the clock right now. So Parowan didn't lose any time getting that first down. Back to throw again, same formation. Stepping up in the pocket, quarterback's gonna throw, he's got, nobody there. Duchesne with another interception, and that's Mortensen, and if I'm correct, no, Mortensen didn't get the first one, but he got the last 2 interceptions. It was Jared Spencer who got the first one, so 3 interceptions thrown by a team that usually only throws about 9 times a game max. He's probably thrown about 20 times this game and 3 interceptions. Boy, there was nobody there. And Duchesne just sealed this game. Parowan does have 2 timeouts left, but that if Duchesne can even get 1 first down, this game's done. So 1st and 10 Duchesne. Looks like they're going to be moving on and facing the winner of Kanab and Milford next week in Cedar City. Spencer under center. And a simple give to the fullback, Polson. Polson 2 touchdowns today, and he gets to the 25-yard line, just a 2-yard gain. And the clock rolls. Now they're calling a timeout. Parowan is.
Also in on the stop for the Rams, number 6, Jake Matheson.
Okay, that's their second timeout. So if the Eagles get even one first down here, this game's over. All right, we'll keep it here as well. Grant Heating and Cooling Systems, Inc. is a fully licensed and assured HVAC company specializing in service and installation of residential and commercial heating and cooling systems. They've been serving the Uinta Basin with outstanding HVAC services for the past 7 years with a commitment to quality and customer satisfaction. This is Grant Heating and Cooling. It is our mission to establish lasting relationships with our customers by exceeding their expectations and gaining the trust through exceptional performance. Grant Heating and Cooling. Also Nourish, coming summer 2018. Nourish will open the doors on Center Street to a new alternative healing center in Duchesne called Nourish. They're going to provide complimentary healthcare services such as foot zone therapy, massage therapy, acupuncture, NAET, and much more. Second down for Duchesne. Going with counter action from that right wing back, and Mortensen's going to get a first down across to the 40-yard line. That's a good 15-yard gain and a first down for Duchesne, a minute 34. And Parowan can only stop the clock one more time with a timeout, as it is stopped just for the first down here. Like that counter action, Mortensen just kind of waiting for this play to develop. 6 players in the backfield, he just splits them, and the only ones who can make the play are the safeties and corners at that point. Clock at 1:25 and rolling. 15 seconds to a play. Let's see if they're mutual agreement, probably just to kneel it down a couple times here. 3, 2 on the play clock, down with a minute 10. Parowan can stop it, but one more kneel down after that, and that's almost the game. So Parowan accepting the 13-point deficit here to Duchesne. And after putting up points like crazy all the season long, Parowan only gets 14 points. The only time they were held to 14 this year or less was at Millard, where they lost 14-13. 40 seconds left, 5 on the play clock. Second down and 11, another yard loss here on the kneel down, and it looks like Parowan's saying, we're going to take a timeout. Yep, Parowan's taking a timeout. So let's keep it here, 33 seconds left. Kneel down here would maybe give them 3 seconds on a 4th down. I don't understand this. Or maybe they're giving their kids a talk about just making sure they're classy here. I don't know. You can use this timeout for a lot of different reasons. The Savage family founded the company Savage Services in 1946 with a single truck hauling coal and timber in Utah. Today they are a leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of their customers across a variety of industries, including electric power generation, coal production, oil refining, railroad, chemical, oil field, downhole services.
Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's.
Savage Services is a great sponsor of ATV coverage. And Hometown Abundance. Did you know that it takes 26 cups of peppermint tea to equal 1 drop of peppermint essential oil? Peppermint essential oil increases focus, aids digestion, and relieves motion sickness. Contact Elise Coyle at Hometown Abundance for more great natural solutions. They kneel down, and the play clock has not started, so it's going to be 4th down and 15, and there's no need for the referees to put the ball down. Duchesne is celebrating a victory. As the final seconds tick down, remember they're going to be playing next week at Cedar City and against the winner of Kanab and Milford, which is coming up immediately following this game. If you go to live.ksl.com, you can find streams to any of the high school playoff coverage that are going across various locations today, including here at Weber State. And remember, there's 6 divisions now in high school football, 1A through 6A, so there's still a lot of playoff football to go. So thank you again for joining us. I'm Brian Baldwin. Thanks to the crew down in the truck, Kobe, Dale, and others, and Kevin up top. Thank you, guys. We'll until next time.
Will be attempting to gain their 7th state championship in that game. Ladies and gentlemen, how about another big round of applause for both teams on an outstanding effort here today.